Stephen Miller, he was on CNN. He was fired up. And, of course, I mean, you kind of have to be when you deal with them. I mean, when you deal with the anchors on CNN, it's like going on one of these Sunday shows. It's just like, guys who do that, man, that's just they have a special place in my heart to go on and deal with Kristen Welker or Meet the Depressed or any of these Sunday shows. And it's kind of the same going on CNN. Because you know you're not getting a journalist, you're getting an activist who's going to try to get you on something. So, but you're not going to get Stephen Miller, and I think that pretty much proves its point again in these clips, right?
Yeah, exactly. What you will get is the Stephen Miller we've come to know and love after he tried to play nice with, again, the CNN host. Miller claimed that, of course, the ICE officers are under a campaign of terrorism. I think we've all seen that. We've seen enough of the video. Alleged that people are publishing photos of ICE agents and their families and basically threatening them with death. He also said the administration has a right to federalize the National Guard. And then Sanchez trying to push back, and he got steamrolled by Stephen Miller. Here is cut number 5 explaining that the Portland Antifa terrorism problem to CNN host Boris Sanchez, because I guess he just doesn't understand it. Cut number 5, check this out.
Do you have any idea how much of ICE's workforce and resources have had to be reprioritized? How much of the Joint Terrorism Task Force's resources have had to be reprioritized to fight these domestic terrorists? Do you have any idea how many resources are spent
you keep
trying
calling
to
them
hunt down and
terrorists,
track
but isn't that hyperbolic to call them terrorists?
What is? If anything, I'm understating the severity of the situation. What issue was more central in 2024 than turning back the border invasion? And since the day we came in, ICE officers have been subjected to a nonstop campaign of physical violence and harassment every single day. And outside the Portland field office in particular, every night, they come, they assemble, they fight, they try to impede movement, they physically attack. For what purpose? Because we had an election, Boris. We had one. What's the purpose? To use actual physical violence to change the result of the election. To say you cannot turn back the border invasion.
Yeah, so there he is schooling basically Boris Sanchez over that particular claim. And then, of course, there was the topic of Dallas. The assault on the Dallas ICE facility there came up. Listen to how Boris Sanchez tries to make a point and immediately regrets it. Here is cut number 6. Check this out.
If a Democratic president someday calls the National Guard to a red state over what they see as open rebellion, but is what amounts to a demonstration that gets rowdy. I mean, is that not a fear of yours?
They're posting pictures of their kids because it's a demonstration, and they have a sniper on top of a building firing a high-caliber rifle at a ICE facility because it's a demonstration, and they are engaging in vehicle ramming.
But the National Guard isn't being sent to Texas.
Because it's a
the National Guard isn't being sent to Dallas, where that sniper was.
Because the Dallas Police Department and the governor of Texas, well, you walked right into that one, have responded to every call for assistance and help. They gave a stand-down order in Chicago, and they gave a stand-down order in Portland. Do you realize that there's 11,000 federal law enforcement officers in Oregon? That's larger than the size of the FBI. Local and state police are resourced to deal with this kind of riotous assembly, but they have refused. They've been given a stand-down order. So
they've arrested some 70 people since June.
Troops
they've been arresting folks on the ground. They've been arresting folks on the ground. They refute what you're saying outright.
We literally have the 911 audio of the stand-down order in Chicago, and we have documented inside of DHS every single unresponded to 911 call over the recent weeks and months.
Yeah, so there it is. Again, slamming CNN's Boris Sanchez trying to make his point.
As if Boris doesn't know any of this, by the way.
Right. And you hear Stephen make mention of the stand-down orders in Chicago. I think we're covering that later in the show, correct?
Sanchez looked like he didn't even believe. Yeah, we have the 911 call, but he didn't even look like he believed his own self there.
Right.
It looked like he was just like, I can't believe I got to read this script.
Again, Stephen Miller made the point that the administration does have the right to federalize the National Guard and will do so. And then Sanchez, of course, tried to fight back, but it was a losing battle on CNN. As Stephen Miller, again, displays what we all love about Stephen Miller, his not only his knowledge, but his candor in coming straight at these guys as they try to play debate person as opposed to just being the reporter asking questions.